easy to fight a world champion, and I'm sure Mr. Denny's bitten off a little more than he can chew here. Mr. Gilpin, another point, 3-0. Not enough verification for this point. Score remains 3-0. Not enough points, no verification. Score remains 3-0. The object of the game here is, of course, to come closely but not hit too hard to your opponent. Mr. Denny lost another point to Mr. Gilpin. Score is now 4-0. Checking out for an injury here. The rules being that if an injury draws blood, of course, there's a disqualification. The decision was there is no cause for disqualification, so then we have another point. Score now 5-0. Mr. Denny's is a recent black belt, and of course is finding himself in some trouble this time against a far more experienced Mr. Gilpin. And Mr. Gilpin scores another point. Score is 6-0. This would be a little embarrassing for Mr. Denny's, and I'm sure he'd rather be outside the ring at this time. I'll bet there's a man that's glad to see the end of this match. Final score, 6-0. Peter Gilpin, the winner. We now have the black belt heavyweight championship between two teammates, Mike Hall, a former student of mine, and Lloyd Banks. Mr. Hall studies now with a good friend and close ally, Mr. Don Gauthier in Sudbury. Mr. Lloyd Banks advances 1-0. Red scores 1 point. Scores even up, 1 apiece. Time is stopped to take a look at the partner that got hit there to see if there's any blood. No blood. Point. There seems to be some discrepancy as to whether this was too much contact or not. No point, no warning, because there's some discrepancy of whether the point is legal or not by being too hard. There's a very fine line here, whether the hits are a point or not. If they're too far away, they don't score. If they're too hard, they also don't score. In fact, if they're too hard, sometimes they result in a disqualification. Score remains tied at 1 apiece. Lying down on the job amongst the spectators was Mike Hall. Score 3-2 for red. Time was called. Winner, Mike Hall. I would like to introduce two future heavyweight champions, Aaron Dumas and Sonny Spina, to put on a little exhibition match. Sonny won first place this afternoon. Two future champions in the making. Sonny Spina goes ahead 1-0. And red ties it up. 1 point apiece. Aaron Dumas scoring. Score split evenly here. No one getting a point. And White scores another point on a mistake by Aaron to turn his back. One of the most important things we teach our children in the Kuk Sool Won martial arts school is sportsmanship and tenacity, and these two little young athletes have today done a fine job of that. And Sonny scores another point, going ahead 4-0. Being a little bit more aggressive, perhaps has a little bit more weight. And Aaron is fighting its way out of a corner here. Right, scores another point for 6-1. Even being down 7-1, Bill Aaron still trying to fight his way in there. Shows you the kind of tenacity some of these youngsters have. Score's being a little lopsided here, but as we realize this is only an exhibition match, sure, it doesn't really matter. Johnny Spina, the winner, once again. Good sportsman. For the Grand Championship of today, lightweight champion Peter Gilpin versus heavyweight champion Mike Hall. This would be the last match of the evening before the Masters demonstration. This will be the last match. And Mr. Gilpin advances 1-0. Here you see the speed of the lightweight versus the power of the heavyweight. Sometimes the lightweights have no problem dealing with that. Gives you an indication that you do not necessarily have to be a big man to practice martial arts. In fact, often the little smaller people seem to enjoy this to prepare themselves for a little self-defense. As you see, all the matches are rather friendly. Mr. Gilpin advances for another point, 2-0. And Red scores another point. 3-0 for Peter Gilpin. This is a glancing blow that went past the body of the opponent. Mr. Gilpin has, in the past years, won the championship here a number of times. He's well on his way today to repeat that. Beautiful roundhouse kick. I'm sure it's scored. Mr. Gilpin, another point. Slick, evasive move by Mr. Gilpin. Equally adept at hands and feet, Mr. Gilpin has often surprised his opponents with hand technique. Mr. Gilpin, a Taekwondo stylist. Tricky move at his part at that point. He could have hurt some children there by falling onto them, but managed to just slide his way through there. Final score, 4-0, Mr. Gilpin. Grand champion. At this point, we would like to present the awards to the winners. Winner of the Black Belt Ladies Division, Krista Shearer, Monroe, Michigan. Product of Mr. Henry Fuentes, who has in his time produced many a fine winner. Second place, Carolyn Gaunt, Sudbury, student of Mr. Don Goche. Senior division, first place, Mr. John Simons, Kuk Sool Won, Canada. Second place, Traverse City, Andy Karnowski. Winner of the lightweight division, Peter Gilpin, Burlington, world champion. Second place winner, Fern Danis, Elliott Lake. First place heavyweight, Mike Hall, Sudbury. Second place winner, Lloyd Banks, also from Sudbury. That's the other one. Grand champion. Oh, Grand champion, winner of the large trophy there, Mr. Peter Gilpin. Also grand champion, Mr. Buzz Smith, winner of the Forms versus Weapons competition, Mr. Buzz Smith from Traverse City. Mr. Smith took both first place in weapons and in empty hand forms. This concludes the sparring exhibition this evening. Bow the contestants out, please. The probably most knowledgeable person who can speak our language very clearly would be Master Barry Harmon of California. He would like now to introduce to you Kuk Sool Won and give you a little bit of its history. Master Barry Harmon, California.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I would like to thank you for coming here this evening to see us and to participate in the festivities. I would also like to thank Instructor Timmerman on behalf of the Grandmaster, myself, and the World Kuk Sool Association and the instructors who are up here this evening for bringing us up here. We've had a great time, and everyone has been extremely nice to us, and we hope to give you a good show this evening. Now, Kuk Sool Won, translated, literally means Korean National Martial Art. And that's what Kuk Sool Won is. It's a systematic study of Korean martial art techniques. Grandmaster Suh is the 18th generation of martial artists in his family. And as he studied Korean martial arts, he began to systemize them and organize the scattered techniques of Korea into a single system. In 1958, he officially founded the name Kuk Sool Won, and then in 1961, he officially founded the Kuk Sool Won, which means the Kuk Sool Association. Since that time, Kuk Sool has spread throughout Korea. In 1974, Grandmaster came to the United States and began teaching and spreading Kuk Sool. In 1975, the World Kuk Sool Association headquarters was opened in San Francisco, California. And since then, Kuk Sool Won has come to be the fastest growing martial arts in the United States. And hopefully in the future, Canada will see more of Kuk Sool Won, and we hope to be here more. So we hope that you have a very good evening, and afterwards, after all the exhibition and festivities are finished, please feel free to come up and talk with any of us in person, say hello, ask any questions you might have. Thank you very much, and we hope you really enjoy the show this evening.
It'll take a few minutes now to make us ready for the demonstration. And Master Jay Lee, or pardon me, Savanim Jay Lee of Texas will be doing the introductions as we go along.
Most Kuk Sool Won classes start with this drill, this exercise. It's called kichachagi. It means wringing of energy from the body. Based on the different positions in the breathing technique, energy is moved through the body in a particular manner according to the posture and the breathing. This is the most basic type of breathing in martial arts. Chaki actually means wringing, as you would wring a dishcloth or something to get the water out. So by using the breath and the kiap, by yelling, it forces the energy to move. By changing the position of the joints in the body and by changing the stance, you affect the way that energy moves through the body. This carries over into the form or into the sparring. Each of the drills also has a particular breathing pattern. For example, the fourth exercise, where they kiap several times in a row, is used to use ki in an intermittent manner rather than just one-time kiap and force the power out of the body. It trains the body to use ki in short bursts of energy. This is important in a combat situation where you may have to strike several times or may be struck several times. The next exercises are called nak-pup. Nak means falling and pup means principle. So these are not particularly just techniques of falling, but rather they embody a particular principle that is used to protect the body. They spread the impact of the fall throughout the entire body, and this lessens the impact and the effect that it has. There's several purposes for using falling techniques. Not only is it to protect the body when you fall and impact the ground, but it's also important to escape a technique. So you have to know how to flip or turn. This can eliminate a particular twist that a joint lock may put on the arm, for example. These are also effective for bodybuilding techniques. So by tensing the body and tightening when you strike, it strengthens you internally. Twisting, spinning side fall. Called Kongjonghuijun. It means acrobatic techniques. And in particular, These techniques are used to escape a joint lock, or they can be used to escape some type of attack. Oh, koyangi nakpa, cat falling. This technique is called terrify a bystander. That'll teach him to watch Mr. Timmerman on TV, huh? Yeah, come on down. That technique's not only important for training the body and learning coordination and developing strength and learning how to protect yourself in a fall, it's also used to be used on a field of combat. For example, vaulting a hedge or something. This technique is called kichohyung. It's a basic connected form at the white belt level in Kuk Sool. There are 6 of these motions currently taught at the white belt level. And they teach the student coordinating movement, stance, step pattern, posture, how to strike. They are not fighting forms. In Kuk Sool, our martial art forms are not designed particularly for fighting, to be used as a fighting form. They are more importantly used to strengthen the proper biomechanics of the body, the way to use your body in daily activities, and combined with the breathing technique, kichichagi done earlier, or ki training neglong that you do in the morning and the evening. When you combine that with your breathing, then you become very powerful and healthy. This is a type of moving yoga, actually. Next techniques are called kibonsu. Kibonsu is the basic technique, again at the white belt level. There's 15 of these. These teach step pattern again, proper intervals, and the use of joint locking. It's not so much that these techniques are practical or something that you would take out of the training environment and try to apply in a street situation, which we get asked a lot, but rather they teach a foundational knowledge of joint manipulation that is important if you want to progress in martial arts. This is a prime example of developmental training, teaching by progression, as opposed to trying to master a more difficult skill. At the white belt level, by mastering these skills, the student learns how to fall, how to be thrown, intervals, and how to relate to another person's body. There's a lot of important things that are going on at this point. Alex Kyosanim is next. This is called Chungum Hyung. It means straight sword form, straight sword, basic, connected motion. The uniforms that Kyosanim is wearing, the rest of the demo team, we call Changumbok. It means the general uniform. And they are representative of the armor and the uniform that was worn in ancient times. The trim on the uniforms represents different ranks. The silver trim or white trim would have represented first, second, and third degree black belt. After that, a thin red stripe, like my uniform, is added, and that represents fourth degree. We call it sabam yen. The red stripe, the full red stripe that Master Harmon wears represents a full master in Kuk Sool. These colors relate back to the Three Kingdom period in Korea. In the Shilla Kingdom, they called the true bone. The true bone was the red color, and that was the king's closest advisors and confidants wore that color as a representation of their rank. This type of emblems of rank has been brought back by Kuk Sool Won. It's a little bit different than the belt structure. We still use the belt structure under black belt, and for training uniforms we wear black, plain black uniform and black belt. But we wanted to get back to our roots a little bit, so this is a traditional type uniform that we wear. She started her training in Houston, Texas. From there, she moved to California and stayed in San Francisco in the headquarters school for several months and trained under Kuk Sool Won's watchful eye, believe me, very watchful. And now she lives in Tuskegee Institute, Alabama, where she's a full-time instructor in Montgomery, Alabama. She's got quite a name for herself in the South. She's fought all the rated fighters. She was fighting to a standstill as recently. So she's quite a champion as far as sparring, also in forms competition. Mike Hill is a fireman from Chicago, Illinois. He's trained his entire career under Marlon Sims Sutherland. Still going to break, looks like a spinning back kick, forward, and 5 forward. Mike Hill kills him, he's going to break 1 beer bottle with the palm technique. Ladies first. basic gathering power in order to brake. Braking itself is not important, not how much, what the material is made of, although some things are more difficult than others. What's important here is the development that goes into the skill, rather than being able to break something that's just hard or difficult to break, but how it's broken. And breaking is a representation or is a way to exhibit the skill developed by training. A lot of people can break things just by being strong or fast or powerful. Her first break was a speed break, so the board wasn't well supported. It had one finger on it. In order to break that way, she had to turn kick at a high rate of speed. This is a power break, and it's unusual for women to do this. Usually they don't. This represents the umyang in martial arts, dual principles, opposite interlocking forces, the feminine and the masculine. Next is Mike Hill, Kyosanim. Kyosanim means second-degree black belt. So we use different titles for different ranks in Kuk Sool. First-degree black belt we call Jogyonim. Second degree is Kyosa. Third we call Pusabamnim, or assistant instructor. Fourth degree we call Sabamnim. That means coach or instructor. After fifth degree, then title becomes Kwanjangnim. Kwanjang means like head of the building. People that would run the school or be the headmaster we call Kwanjangnim. What he did was he broke the bottle with a palm strike, and it's wrapped in newspaper so that the glass doesn't scatter everywhere. This is kind of dangerous, and we've been cut a few times in demos. So now we use the paper to kind of avoid that. The bloodletting is not much fun in a demo. This is a woman's self-defense techniques. Something happened to his manly ego there. These techniques are use joint locking and pressure points. She used to go ahead and stomp him. I don't know. And then punch him in. We sometimes get tired of breaking just plain boards. So I think what he's going to try to do here is break some 2x4s that have been cut down. So break them lengthwise as opposed to with the grain. They have a real natural springiness in the wood because of the length. So it's kind of difficult to do. He has to strike hard, but he also has to be very fast to get past the spring before the wood can rebound. So that makes this a little bit more difficult. I'm not sure if he's going to break it with palm techniques or with knife hand, or a combination. Anybody volunteer? We need 2 huge people. Tall guys. Macho men. Manly men.
300 pounds.
Not exactly huge. Just big.
Get one of these Northmen.
Sapnim's really into audience participation. I don't know if y'all noticed that. And we've only lost one person from the audience that helped us once. So. The guy moved the wrong way. Did they sign their waivers before they came in here? First thing, gathering power to the hands. It's not just a breathing technique, but he connects the pressure points in his arms. Watch Atifas.
And then we're gonna, well, he's just moving up and then this one.
And that verification, no point.
To break it. Sabonim Sims is now demonstrating a form called Bekpalgi Hyung. Bekpalgi translated means 108 movements. This particular form was taken out of the Buddhist martial arts aspect of Kuk Sool. The philosophy is that people have 108 torments within their lifetime. And as martial artists, we try to practice to make our minds clear, more bright. So as we perform this form with 108 movements, each time we make one movement, one torment should leave our mind, so that at the end of the form, our mind is crystal clear. That's the theoretical philosophy behind it. It doesn't always work that way. It's not quite so easy to clear your mind. Usually we get very tired after this form. In Kuk Sool, forms are used for internal development as well as external. Using low and long stances develops the leg strength and the body stability and the movement ability of the body. All the various hand movements and kicks are actual martial art technique. Those techniques may be applied any type of way, not necessarily the way that they're practiced within the form. Next, Sabonim Sims is going to perform some cane technique. The cane was popularized by the Buddhist aspect of Korean martial art some 500-600 years ago. Because monks did a lot of traveling, they often had to defend themselves against bandits. And since the cane could very easily become a non-lethal form of self-defense, as well as a useful walking tool. It was quite popular among the monks. Next one, Sabanim J. Lee is going to demonstrate some type of breaking. We'll see what it is when he does it, I guess. He's going to break the bottle. You saw it with the front palm. This time he's going to break a bottle with his back palm. Please don't go home and try these breaking techniques. You may end up with a broken hand. Sabanim makes that look very easy. Believe me, as long as the bottle breaks, it looks easy. When the bottle doesn't break, it looks impossible. Headbutting is also a part of Kuk Sool technique. This is a demonstration of head breaking. Breaking the bottle, not breaking the head. He may need some aspirins if anybody has any later. One of our follow-through principles in Kuk Sool Won is that if one technique doesn't work, we change to another one that does. This one he's going to break the board using his thumb. This form is called Sambang Cho Hyung, which means three-directional defense form. This form is the representation of a battle where the Korean general used a three-directional defense tactic to defeat a far superior numerical force back during the Three Kingdom period. Remembering what I mentioned about one of our principles is changing techniques until we find one that works. If one technique works, we use it. If it doesn't, we change till we find one that does. Sabanim J. Lee is also the instructor at the Police Academy in Houston, Texas for close tactics and self-defense. He's going to now he's going to demonstrate some of those type of techniques, and you'll also see him changing from one technique to another to escort his opponent away. The name of this technique is called Yun Hang Sul, or the common name is just called come along technique or restraining technique. This is called Pyung Su, or palm technique. The development of the open hand technique dates back hundreds of years. And as the development of the open hand technique is used in Kuk Sool, we find that it is far stronger than the fist once it's developed. Salonim was hitting pressure points along the body. Attacking pressure points allows one to use much less force with much more result.